Hello, it's Molly Reamer with Bridges Grove in 30 Days of Goddess with this week's 5 to 7 minute mini ritual. And we are using woman runes, the 30 Days of Goddess Daily Practice Companion deck, and the Cut Your Own expansions. So from woman runes, we got the witch's, the witch's hat, the rune of magic, spells, and enchantment, which I always love to see, especially as we're just coming out of October and into this season of the witch, this season of enchantment and magic and spells. And so the witch's hat to me reminds me to claim your own magic, to step into your magic, to delight in the enchantment around you, but also to name and claim the enchantment of your own life, your own ways of being, your own ways of perceiving and moving through the world, the magic and mystery and power that is you. We all have magic. People have asked me before what I mean about like your magic, and I mean that peace inside you that only you have, you know, the secrets that only you know, the truths that only you have discovered, that magic that lights your way, that lights you up, that enlivens you, that guides you. So you might call it magic, you might call it your, inner spirit, you might call it your spark of life, you might call it your wise self, your inner wise woman, your divinity within, whatever it is. That's your magic, that piece of you that no one else has. And so and sometimes it can be hard to stand up for and to claim our magic. People sometimes want to dim our shine and put out our light, and it's time for us to say, yes, that pointy hat is mine. And one of the things I've shared in some past videos for 30 Days of Goddess is that something that I often say is a daily practice, a 30 Days of Goddess practice. You don't have to be any more special or magical than you are to set forth on this process of daily practice. But one of the other things I've come to see is you don't have to be any less special or less magical than you are either. You don't have to dim that shine or put out that light or shut down that magic. So don't be any less special or magical than you are. Embrace it. Embrace that magic. And then we got a word from, which is found. So may you know that feeling of magic found and power reclaimed and enchantment coming home to settle into your center. May you know that power found, that magic found. And a word from the original Daily Practice deck too, edge. And this is, perhaps your magic is found at the edges of your life. Perhaps you need to extend a little bit beyond the edges to touch something that you sense is there waiting for you, to sense something that you know is possible, but that maybe feels a little out of your comfort zone, that maybe feels a little scary, that maybe feels a little too big for you. May you extend to the edge to see what magic and power is found there. At the edge, on the edge, over the edge. So I use edge a lot. Somebody asked me before to explain like why I use edge, and I think it speaks of so much to me. Like I sometimes use the phrase like we are all of us edge walkers. We walk in the edges of our lives, like in the borders between the mundane and the mystical, the magical and the ordinary. We walk the edges between in our lives with our family responsibilities and with our work, and we can extend past our edges, and then at the same time we can trust our edges, our borders, what keeps us safe and healthy and protected. Like, so edges, they just hold so much, as well as that liminal space between things, the edge between the sky and the earth, the sea and the sand. There's edges, liminal spaces, edges in time as well, the edges between seasons. Edge, it holds so much. So there is so much to be found at the edge. And then a practice. Take 3 deep breaths, always a good one. You can take 3 breaths and offer them. I call it 3 breaths to presence. You offer a breath from your forehead, a breath from your heart, a breath from your belly. And then you may dedicate, I often dedicate those breaths to Persephone. You may dedicate the breaths to a goddess of your choice, or to a feeling, to a wish, to a calling, to an invocation, to a quality, and offer those 3 breaths of presence. Or you can also use it as a body blessing, 3 breaths as in blessing to yourself. But 3 deep breaths and offer them. It helps us to come back home to our bodies, return to center, and recollect ourselves with 3 deep breaths. And if you hear a sound right now, Mark's working on putting a new roof on our house. It is a complicated, expensive, and challenging endeavor, and he is using the screw gun thing on it right now, and I can hear it kind of in the background. I can also hear this beautiful November wind blowing. You can see how the trees are all there now. You're starting to be able to see the horizon again somewhat. And it's just amazing how much changes. So also consider what wisdom may be found on the edge of a change for you right now. What's happening in your landscape and around you? What's happening on the edges? And a prayer. May I walk in wonder. May I extend my hand to touch the infinite. May I bow at the feet of mystery. And then one more from the Cut Your Own, because I found this one to be really appropriate. Interestingly, I chose this one before I knew the words or the rune, and it's really very perfect for what we've just talked about. So there are 3 steps to a more magical life. Go outside, watch what unfolds, inhabit this miracle. Go outside, watch what unfolds, inhabit this miracle. So may you claim your magic, walk the edges, and inhabit this miracle. Thanks so much for being here. Bye-bye.